Assalamu alaikum. My name is Laraib Elahi and welcome to my presentation. Today I am going to tell you about the nanobots, the artificial blood. So have a look on the overview of this presentation. Discovery of nanobots, the artificial blood, components of nanobots, and many more. So let's begin with the discovery of nanobots. Nanobots was first discovered by an American physicist, Richard Feynman, in 1959. On the American Conference of Physical Society, he gave his talk, There is a Plenty of Name in the Bottom. The title was given by the Richard Feynman in the Physical American Society talk, and this means one day he will be making things at the atomic level. And since these small things we able to perform specific tasks in the human body and control what we want to do to them. On the other side, another physicist, Robert Fittis, continued with the study of nanobots. So, what are nanobots? Nanobots are basically machines which are designed to perform specific tasks in the human body, and these are too small in size and capable of performing specific tasks. They are of microscopic level, uh, approximately 1 to 100 nanometers in scale. So these small robots are capable of performing the functions in the body and controlling the functions in the body. So these were designed by the Robert Fittis. Further, we will talk about the nanobots, the artificial blood. These nanobots are also called spirocytes because they have the resemblance like red blood cell. As you all know, red blood cell is containing hemoglobin. It is responsible for the transport of oxygen in it. So, spirocytes are basically working similar as the natural red blood cells. These spirocytes are approximately 1 meter in diameter, and these are designed as red blood cells. They are artificial carrier of oxygen and they carry oxygen to the different parts of the body. The human body can perform functions with these spirocytes as the artificial or the natural red blood cells perform. Components of spirocytes. There are many components of spirocytes through which the help of these components, the spirocytes are designed. The first one is molecular rotors. There are three types of molecular rotors: carbon dioxide gas rotors, water rotors, and oxygen gas rotor. Oxygen gas rotors are helps in controlling and storing the oxygen gas, and carbon dioxide gas rotors are helps in transferring and storing the carbon dioxide gas. Second one is power generator. Power generator is the basic components of respirocytes which helps in utilizing oxygen in it and performing different tasks at red blood cells perform in the human body. Water blast chamber. Water blast chambers is helps in maintaining buoyancy. They are specific tasks performed by it for the release and control of carbon dioxide gas and water in the water blast chambers. Many sensors are used in it, or various sensors are also needed to sense the needed and to regulate the gas loading and unloading for the different functions. And on the third one, there are tiny computers are also fixed in this spirocytes to control the various rotors to distribute the energy to the different parts of the spirocytes or to the different parts of the human body to interpret the data from the sensors or from the outside of the spirocytes. So these all are working together for the functioning of spirocytes. Working of respirocytes. As you all can see in this diagram, the respirocyte is basically enclosed in the chamber which is made up of diamond wall. This diamond wall is the outer line of the respirocytes. Respirocytes exchange gases via molecular sorting rotors. These rotors have specially shaped tips to each particular types of molecules. Gas molecules are stored tightly in different tanks. These respirocytes have three types of rotors, which gathers oxygen to the lungs or in the production of gas before it transfer into the different types of parts of the body. And the second one is release when it released while traveling through the body. Another captured carbon dioxide while in the bloodstreams and released in the lungs, as I told you before, in the components of respirocytes. The third one is which takes in glucose in the bloodstream. While these carbon dioxides are burnt in a reaction similar to cellular respiration, in order to power the respirocyte. These respirocytes are powered by these blood streams in which glucose is present, and the glucose is utilized by these respirocytes for the function and for the working of respirocyte. So basically these respirocytes are working like this. They are enclosed in the diamond wall and they are performing like this as our red blood cells perform different tasks in our body. Applications of nanobots spirocytes. There are many applications of respirocytes. The first one is treatment of anemic condition. Oxygenating respirocytes offers complete or partial symptomatic treatment for virtually all forms of anemia. As you all know, anemia is the deficiency of red blood cells. A person have very low amount of red blood cells. Due to this, they cannot transfer or transport oxygen to different parts of the body. The second one is cardiovascular and neurovascular diseases. Respirocyte perfusion could be useful in maintaining tissue oxygenation during anesthesia or organ transplantation. These are therapeutic respirocytes which helps in the post-surgical and cardiac function recovery during the bypass of the heart. The third one is treatment of tumor and diagnostic. Cancer patients are usually anemia. They have low red blood cells in their body. So in X-ray and many chemotherapeutic agents requires oxygen to boost up the energy level or boost up the oxygen level in their red blood cells. So these respirocytes could be used as a reporter device to map a patient's whole body blood pressure or oxygenation profile, starting sorting with the different sensors which are composed in a respirocyte. Fetal abnormalities and child related disorders. Respirocytes may be useful in parental medicines, as for example, infusion of devices, suspension to treat erythroblastic fetalysis, neonatal hemolytic disease, a severe form of anemia caused in the fetus or newborn infant by incompatibility with mother blood types. It is a major cause of fetal loss or death because these cannot produce or transfer the oxygen to the fetal or the newborn baby. So these spirocytes could also aid in the treatment of childhood applications such as whooping cough, cystic fibrosis, rheumatic heart diseases, and rheumatic fever. Respirocytes can also be used in the respiratory tract and breathing disorders. Current treatments for a variety of respiratory tract infections and diseases, including pneumonia and many others. So, these respirocytes can be used as an effective long term drug free symptomatic treatment for asthma and also assist in the treatment of stress and lungs disorder resulting in from cigarette smoking. And the last one is underwater breathing. Underwater breathing is the respirocytes could serve as the vivo in scuba. Scuba is the self-contained underwater breathing apparatus device, and these devices helpful in maintaining the oxygen level in the body with an augmentation dose or nano drugs. The driver holds this breath for 2 till 4 hours during diving in the water. Perfusion of blood and perfusion of organs. Respirocytes can be used by the active oxygen carrying components of a universally transfusible blood substitute, which is free of diseases. They does not contain any disease in it, such as hepatitis, malarial virus, or any other malarial parasites or AIDS. These respirocytes are away from diseases. So, in the transfer of organs to the body, it is the current scenario in which organ must be transplanted soon after the harvesting. So it could be done as soon as possible after taking out the organ from the body. So it can by overcome by using the spirocytes. And on the other side, there are some risks while using these spirocytes. The possible risks due to this is a foreign agent. You must know and you should know. These spirocytes are not the natural red blood cells. These are the artificial red blood cells. They are the foreign agents. So these can somehow harms the body because there is a many chance of possibility of fatal risks. On the other side, there is a jamming of rotors. If the rotor, which is continuously rotating for the passage of oxygen or the storage of carbon dioxide or maintaining the water level, so if the motor gets jammed, they could not pass the signal to the computer which is fixed in these spirocytes. So it can also harm in these ways. If these rotors get jammed together, the energy generated is absorbed by the heat sinks. If the rotors gets all jammed, there are three rotors composed in the spirocytes. These rotors at a time jammed, so these can also produce a heat in these spirocytes, which could also harm these devices. Single device explosion does not cause if one spirocytes can expose or burst in the human body, it cannot damage or harm the cell surrounding or the tissue surrounding it. If the majority of one or two cells or these devices gets damaged, so it can causes harms to the body. Its grinding cause the devices to explode, resulting in nothing more freshness in the mouth. These are the comparison between natural and red blood cells. As you can see on the screen, the physical features contain natural blood cells are bioconcave in shape. They are disc-shaped like a structure and they does not contain nucleus in it. Respir- on the other side, spirocytes are spherical in shape and they are artificially made. They are made up of diamond. The lifespan of natural blood cells is 120 days, whereas spirocytes can live a life of 5 till 8 months. There are just only one type of red blood cells found in the blood, and on the other side, spirocytes contain different types depending on the size of the rotors. If the size of the rotors is big, so definitely the shape and the type of the spirocytes will change. Circulatory. These are circulating the cardiovascular system which are related to heart, and these are cardiovascular system which is just carrying the gas carriers. The total count is 4.5 million till 5.5 million per cubic millimeters, and these spirocytes of 10 till 12 million per cubic millimeters. The function of the natural blood cells is to carry oxygen through the different parts of the bodies and carries carbon dioxide molecules as a waste product, whereas the spirocytes carrying 200 molecules of oxygens or carbon dioxide and this supplies according to the requirement of the body. Presence in blood, they are approximately 45% in a blood, and these spirocytes are 20% found in the red blood in the bloods component. These are hemoglobin, composed of hemoglobin, whereas the spirocytes are made up of rotors, sensors, microchips, detectors, and computers. Production, these natural red blood cells are produced in bone marrows, whereas artificially are produced by the scientists and injected in the body. These natural red blood cells moved in blood vessels, eventually squeezing and in capillaries, whereas the spirocytes are also moving in the vessels and using the flow of blood. Irregularity between these are very low red blood cells count will result in anemia. Natural red blood cells does not have much more competency of anemia, whereas respirocytes have no side effects because these respirocyte does not contain any disease in it. So this is the major difference I could say because it is not containing any diseases in. disease in it. Nuclei RBCs do not have nuclei in humans, whereas has microchips to monitor respirocyte. As you all know, are working with the help of computers, and microchips are composed in it for the functioning and monitoring. The shape is round and can shape, whereas respirocytes have different kinds of shape depending on the rotors uh, uh, which are associated in it. So the conclusion of this presentation is, as you all know, the topic was respirocytes, and these respirocytes are the artificial erythrocytes nano device. These are working as natural red blood cells in the human body. These transport more oxygen to the different parts of the body. They can deliver 236 times more oxygen to the tissue per unit volume. So these are facilitating to the humans and giving advantage in carbon dioxide transport. These respirocytes are constructed with a diamond material and having a variety of chemicals in it. They are containing thermal and pressure sensors. They are having rotors in it. Different types of rotors are composed in it, which are enabling to functions. They have water balancing sensors. They have computers and microchips to control the respirocytes. These respirocytes are also used for the diagnostic purpose and in many disease to cure in many diseases. Such devices can be executed today. Some these respirocytes are working today. With the help of these devices, people are getting cured from diseases. However, today it is a world of advancement. As you all know, the world is getting advanced day by day. So these inventions of devices are also increase in the technology in molecular machine permits formation of such artificial respirocytes which can be applied in the medical system. So it is the main advancement of the red blood cells or the artificial red blood cells to the peoples. And at the last, I would like to thanks to all of you for watching my video. I hope you like my presentation. Thank you so much.